All right. This is Heather Greenwood Davis. She lives in Canada and she's a member of SATW. And she is one of the finalists in the Premier Global Travel Writers Awards. Heather, how did you feel when you found out you were a finalist?
I am so honored to be a finalist, and I'm particularly honored because it's happening now in a time when I think so many of us are feeling alone and separated from our colleagues and our friends. And it was such a great moment of upliftment for me, just to feel like, yeah, this is what we do, right? We support each other and lift each other up. So I'm really, really honored.
I think it's nice that we're going to have some good news coming up too. So
Yeah,
in the travel industry, right?
exactly right.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and about what your specialties are and your outlets?
Yeah, so I'm a freelance writer. I'm a contributing editor. I'm a columnist. I do some television work here in Canada, as well as some spots that have appeared, I think, internationally through National Geographic. I write for the Globe and Mail and for National Geographic and for a host of other outlets. And I really sort of pride my work on being very diverse in terms of what I can do and the stories that I can tell.
And can you tell me a little bit about the entries? I know that you had one of them about Saudi Arabia, one was about
Right,
Canada's far north and Nunavut, and one
right.
was about your experiences as a Black traveler.
Yeah. So yeah, I was saying that I try to really speak in diverse ways, and I think these entries speak to that. So the Saudi Arabia piece is a news story that was written for the Globe and Mail, and it was really meant to address the controversial idea of whether people should be visiting as tourists to Saudi Arabia now that they were opening up their doors. Was this some place that people should go? And I think in this day and age where we talk a lot about cancel culture and the idea of ruling out places or people, I was really excited to tell that story through the lens of travelers. And I loved that the story had this subtext of, should people in glass houses throw stones? Is it okay for us in Canada or in the US or in North America, the Western world really, to sort of cast judgment on others without first sort of looking back at what we're doing ourselves in our own community? So that was really exciting. Nunavut, a totally different kind of story. That story was about Canada's far north, as you mentioned. And what I loved about that story was that it gave me a chance, first of all, to go and experience and to get a sense of the awe and the majesty of the place and to be able to bring that back to readers. But also, Nunavut is an expensive place to get to. And so not everyone's going to get to go. So I liked that the story was going to speak both to armchair travelers who maybe would never get there and they'd feel like they'd been through my first person experiences, but also that it was going to, the people who might think that they couldn't do it because it was too adventurous a trip would be able to look at me and my exploits and realize that they very much could do it. If I could do it, anybody could do it.
And your last story was about traveling as a Black person.
Of course, yeah, that one is really important to me. So that is a story that I think focuses on perspectives and is a very personal story. It's an opinion piece. It was written for National Geographic Traveler. And the point of that story really was that we're better as a world, as a community, when we have more storytellers in the picture. And so for me, I've been in this industry for scarily over 20 years. And I'm still very much an only and an other when it comes to Black traveler writers in the space. I'm often the only one in a room or the only one on a press trip or that sort of thing. And I think that it's really important that we speak to diversity, not just from a racial perspective, but in terms of experiences, from ability, for a sexual orientation, you name it. I think we need as many voices as possible in the room in order to get all the stories out there. And it's important to me, I think, particularly at this time of my career, that, I'm a little closer to the exit than the entrance. And I think it's important that the doors really open wider when I leave because I've been here. So that piece for me was really important because it spoke to that notion and to the idea of having more storytellers in the space.
Well, your stories are exceptional and quite unique, and I wish you a great deal of luck in the upcoming week. Thanks,
Thank you
Heather.
very much.